Yo, what up? It's Beverly Ann, here to talk to you today about arrangements. The process of getting your song that looks something like this and ending up with something more like this. This video is aimed at any producer, beginner to intermediate, on any door. So the things you see here today can be applied to any one of these. So with that being said, let's strap ourselves in, buckle up our seatbelts if we're watching this while driving a vehicle. Anyway, let's just jump right into it. Well, here's our loop. We have our drums, our bass, our chords, and it sounds something a little like this. Hey, I think that sounds pretty good. Now we're ready to move on to the intro. And during this part of the process, it's important to remember we're not going to touch faders, add effects, get distracted by any of that stuff. We're simply going to focus on the arrangement. So let's go. Here, the way I like to think about this stage is I like to think of every instrument track as sort of a member of an R&B group, you know, like the Whispers. So they each have their own chance to come out and introduce themselves, step into the light, and do a wee swirl. Now the way we do this is add the bread and butter of any song, the chords. We're going to make it a bit more interesting and add the rising chords, and then about halfway through the intro, about 4 bars in, we're also going to add the bass. Now a simple but effective way to transition from the verse into the chorus is to have a nice 4-beat canon with a snare on the 3rd beat, and that sounds something like this. And it's as easy as that. We've arranged a really simple intro with a lot of room for growth, but while we've got the ball rolling, let's just jump right into the verse. So from the chorus to the verse, there's usually a steep drop off in energy. What you might find is maybe the chords humming away, followed with some hi-hats. Why don't we try that? What we'll do here to introduce yet another member is we'll just add the kick drum as a sort of count-in, which might look something like this. Now we've added the kick drum back into the song, let's go ahead and add the snare as well, and let's see how it sounds. There you have it, sounding pretty good so far, already halfway through the verse, and now all that's left is to complete that, following the same sort of procedure we had in the intro, slowly building up the instruments or the members in preparation for the chorus. Now when working on the second part of the verse, it's important to try and make it interesting. We can see that the bass is about to be introduced, and to make it hit that little bit harder, I'm going to pull out the drums on the last bar just like this. To complete the verse, we're going to follow the exact same process we've been following so far. Slowly reintroduce the instruments in preparation for the chorus, and just before that chorus hits, we're going to have a little bit of silence, which will act as a sort of drop, making that chorus really hit hard. And this is what that sounds like. And there it is, we have a completed basic arrangement. And now look, I know what you're thinking. It's simple, the levels aren't right, there's a lack of instruments, and you are not wrong. But from here, the sky is the limit. And now that we're at this stage, we can add new instruments, we can alter ones that already exist, we can use effects to create space in the song or move faders to the same effect. And that's the beauty of this stage. You have the framework for your song, the melody, the tempo, the structure, and sort of how it moves from A to B. And this can be super helpful in understanding what your piece of music might be lacking, or it might inspire you and give you the room to try something new and exciting. Now, that about wraps it up for today's video. Next time we'll be taking a deeper dive into things such as adding further instruments to the track, using corrective and creative processing, as well as automation and other little neat tips and tricks. If you enjoyed today's video, I'm super glad and I hope you guys learned something. And if you guys want to see anything else in a future video, or you have any questions, just make sure to comment right down below. Of course, if you want to see more, like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. I really enjoyed making this video for you guys, and I'm looking forward to making more. So with that being said, I'm Beverly Ann, and I'll catch you next time.